Hey there, welcome to the channel. My name is James, and here at 20th and 21st Movies, we are about all things cinema. All right, I'm excited to bring another Criterion Collection review for you. This is a review of an edition that came out earlier this year at the end of January. So I didn't pick it up during that time, but I did have a chance to pick it up during the recent Barnes & Noble 50% off Criterion sale. So was very happy to get a nice haul of titles. I didn't go crazy this Barnes & Noble sale. I think I've behaved pretty well in recent years because my Criterion Collection, I've got it to a point now where I'm pretty much focused on the new titles that come out. In this case, I was very happy to pick up this title that comes in at spine 1170 called Bergman Island. This is a film directed by Mia Hansen-Love, the first film of hers that I have seen, and based upon watching this film, I'm very much looking forward to seeing more films from this director. I'm looking forward to hearing more of her voice in filmmaking because I really enjoyed what she presented in Bergman Island. This is an interesting story. What I liked about this film the most was I like movies that show you the process of making movies. I like movies about making movies, and that is a big part of what Bergman Island is. It is a film that covers two main characters played by Vicky Krieps here and Tim Roth. They are a married couple. They live in the United States and they're traveling over to Sweden to go to this island called Faroes Island, which is sort of an exotic location, but it's Faroes Island, which is a fairly famous location in the world of cinema in that this is where Ingmar Bergman, the famous Swedish director Ingmar Bergman, where he lived for a portion of his life, where he shot a lot of his movies. And so you're actually in the setting in sort of Bergman's world, if you would. And so you have these two folks played by Vicky Krieps and Tim Roth. They're a married couple. They're traveling over there. He is a director, and I believe she's a screenwriter, and they're going over to Faroes Island to get inspiration for their next film projects. You know, she's dealing with a little bit of writer's block, trying to figure out what story do I want to tell? How do I want to tell it? And he is coming off of, I think, a recent film and, you know, doing interviews and going on tours with people. But it's a really fascinating story seeing them as filmmakers and seeing their art and process play out in terms of seeing her go through trying to develop her stories, bouncing ideas off of her husband. And so it's very much a character story about making movies. And that's what I enjoyed about this film. This is not an action film. It's not that type of a movie. It's more of a character study type of a film that, you know, shows two people who are trying to get inspiration on a very exotic location. And that's another thing I liked about this film is the film is the way that this film was shot from a cinematography standpoint by this film crew. I think they did a really nice job of capturing Faroe Island, which is where Ingmar Bergman got a lot of his inspiration. The other thing I liked about this film is the whole homage to Ingmar Bergman, in that you get to see people go on a tour of some sites that appeared in a lot of Bergman's films. You see a lot of references to Bergman throughout this film. In some cases, some of those references are not exactly complimentary to Bergman. So you have some people talking sort of ill of him or not having the highest opinion of him. Some people not even recognizing who he was or whatever, which I thought was pretty interesting. But overall, you get, if you're a Bergman fan, which I am, I love Bergman's films. If you like his films, you're really going to love the homage to Bergman in this film, Bergman Island, because there's tons of references to Ingmar Bergman in terms of, oh, here's the house he stayed in. Here's where he shot this scene of The Seventh Seal or Persona or, you know, Through a Glass Darkly or whatever. You will absolutely love all the Bergman references in this film. And they do a nice job of making that a big part of the story, and seeing these characters move through that world is a big thing that I enjoyed about this film. I thought the story was very effective. I really liked how they showed the art of creating films, the art of creating stories, and presenting us not only how movies are made, but actually showing us a movie within a movie. So you've got four main characters that are in this film. You've got Vicky Krieps, who plays Chris, and Tim Roth plays Tony. They are the married couple. They are the film making professionals. And Vicky Krieps is developing this idea for a screenplay. During this film, you'll see her talking with Tim Roth, her husband, about, okay, here's my story idea. And she starts describing the story. And in the story, in this movie, you have characters Amy and Joseph, played by Mia Wasikowska, and Anders Danielsen-Lai, who plays Joseph. They are the characters in the story that she's writing. So you have this movie within a movie that is shown in Bergman Island. And I really, really dug that. I thought that was awesome. Anders Danielsen-Lai, he played in another film that I recently saw that came out last year. It's a 2021 film from Joachim Trier, The Worst Person in the World. He starred in this film along with Renata Reinsev. Folks, this is a fantastic film. I love this movie so much. I cannot wait to revisit this film again. This is an amazing film, and I can see why it was nominated for Best International Feature. It lost out to Drive My Car, but this is an amazing film, right up there with Drive My Car. Incredible film. So he starred in that film as well as this film, Bergman Island, and he, along with Mia Wasikowska, played these characters in this screenplay that is written by Vicky Krieps' character. So really enjoyed that aspect of this film. If you look on the inside of this case, check out the art on the inside, actually the photos, which is very nice. But yeah, this is a nice film. If you like films that are, movies about making movies, if you like good character studies, if you like to get insight into the filmmaking process, if you like a movie that's shot on a really beautiful location, which it features Faroe Island, you're really going to enjoy Bergman Island. It's a more easygoing type of a film. Again, it's not an action type of a film. So if you're up for that kind of movie, I think you're going to like Bergman Island. I thought Tim Roth and Vicky Krieps did an excellent job from an acting standpoint, playing their characters, really showing the frustration of the creative process, which is a big part of being a creator, is that you run into these blocks and you don't really know, what kind of story you want to tell, or does this work? Does this make sense? How do I make this story come together? And even trying to figure out what do I even write? I'm coming into a complete block and don't know where to go next, and don't know where to go to get the inspiration for this story. So you get to feel all that through Vicky Krieps' character, and Tim Roth as her husband, trying to kind of encourage her, not to, lead her too much, but trying to encourage her along the way. And you see some of the frustration and friction there as well in their relationship. So I thought it was a very nice portrayal of their relationship, of the creative process, and all in this very beautiful setting of Faroe Island, which is where the gentleman who made these films that are part of this amazing set came from. So this is Ingmar Bergman Cinema, the massive set from the Criterion Collection that I highly, highly recommend of his films. And what can I say? I think that Bergman Island is an excellent, excellent film that does a nice job giving an homage to that director, but telling a beautiful story as well. So I definitely give Mia Hansen-Love high marks for the story. In terms of how this film looked on Blu-ray, folks, I think this film looked wonderful on Blu-ray. I mean, this is a film that I almost wish was on the 4K format. It looks so beautiful in terms of how the island was portrayed, how it was shot. I love the wide shots that she got. And she even talked about, she being the director, Mia Hansen-Love, talked about how Bergman, shot in a different aspect ratio. She wanted to open it up to really show the beauty of this island and show it in these beautiful colors. And I think she did a phenomenal, phenomenal job. Check out the pictures here on the little fold out. But yeah, I think it looks absolutely wonderful. You get a nice essay in here, Form and Feeling by Devika Girish. So definitely check that out, as well as other information about the cast and the crew. Always nice to get, nice pictures. But overall, folks, this is an edition that I would definitely recommend if you are up for a film like this. It's not an action type of film. It's more of a character film, deals with the process of making movies, deals with characters in real life situations, how they're dealing with the different people in the town, in Pharos, in that environment. It's just a easy going type of a film that I would recommend if you're up for that kind of a film. As far as the supplements, you get a new interview with the director Hansen-Love. You get an interview with Vicky Krieps. I thought both those interviews were very, very well done, and they're very informative. You get a short film on here from Gabe Klinger that's about 4 minutes that shows a little bit about Mia Hansen-Love's filmmaking process, and you get it's called Bergman's Ghosts. So not a lot of special features on this edition from Criterion, but I think the film itself is very strong with some nice performances. I love the whole setup and the story. I love the setting. So very nice film, and I recommend it on that basis if you're up for that. But I recommend this definitely on a 50% off sale. I would definitely stick to a 50% off sale for this particular title. That's my recommendation. But yeah, let me know in the comments section below, what do you think of this film if you've seen it? What do you think of Bergman Island? What do you think of Mia Hansen-Love's films? What are your favorites from her? I've never seen any other films from this director. So let me know what are your favorites from Mia Hansen-Love. Let me know what some of your favorite films are that Vicky Krieps has starred in. I believe she starred in The Phantom Thread with Daniel Day-Lewis. I have not seen that. But let me know what you think of her films. And also let me know what your favorite films are from director Ingmar Bergman. Famous Swedish director Ingmar Bergman. Let me know what your favorite Bergman films are. Let me know all that goodness in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time at the movies. Peace.